I'm Jenna. I'm a student physical therapist, and today I'm going to be teaching Joan and Don how to do passive range of motion on the upper extremity on his arm. So we're doing it in a wheelchair today because it's probably one of the most common places that you're sitting during the day, so it'll be easier to access. And it's important to maintain the range of motion in as many joints as you possibly can, just for daily function. You don't realize how many movements you do throughout the day that you need full range of motion in. Okay? So as we start, we want to make sure we use really soft hands. So we're not digging into Don or making him feel uncomfortable when we're picking up his arm. So keeping our hands as flat as possible. We'll start with the shoulder joint. So we'll start with flexion, which is just straight up and down this way. And we want as the caregiver to be doing all of the work. So Don, you don't have to do anything. Okay? And we're just going to the point where there's slight resistance against us. So right here is where I feel some resistance, so I'm just going to back down and go back down. And we're trying to go nice and slow so that we don't work up the spasticity that he may have in his muscles, which is just an involuntary resistance again. We can do it about 5 to 10 times on each movement. Alright, so that was shoulder flexion. And then we can come out here for a shoulder abduction, which is just this movement over here. Okay. We want to make sure we stop if we see the patient's in any pain or any significant discomfort. Again, going nice and slow, and you can do that about 5 to 10 times as well. One would be internal and external rotation for the shoulder. So we'll just keep him here and move his arm in and out and in and back out again. Next one, we're going to stabilize up here the upper arm, and it's just the elbow joint. So bending the elbow up and extending it out.
Well, good.
Good? That's good. The next one, we'll just do the wrist. So we'll do some flexion here and extension here. Again, trying to go nice and slow and stopping when you feel slight resistance. And we can do finger flexion and finger extension. And you can add it into the wrist extension as well. We want to make sure we don't forget about the thumb. Flexing and extending. Okay, so that was the range of motion for the upper extremity. Alright, so Jen's going to start doing some range of motion with, she's going to start with shoulder flexion. So just in this straight plane right here. Stopping when you have slight resistance and then going back down. We're doing this nice and slowly, so we can try it one more time. Good, and back down. Okay, now we'll do some shoulder abduction, so bending the elbow and bringing his arm up, out to the side like this. Good. Okay, back down. Good. Okay, and we'll do some internal and external rotation, so keeping his elbow still here. We'll move the forearm in and then back out until you feel that resistance again. Good, and back in, and back again. Alright, good. So that was the shoulder movements. Now we'll go on to the elbow, so just straight flexion, bending it up, and extending it until the elbow is straight, so you might have to lift the elbow a little. Good. We'll do wrist flexion and extension, so you can kind of support him down here. And we're just going to bend the wrist back and the wrist forward. Good. And then we can do finger flexion and extension. So supporting at the wrist there. And just kind of use your own fingers to bend them back. And you can go into wrist extension as well.
Make it into a fist.
So you can make his fingers go into the fist by going, yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, that feels good.
Good. And don't forget about the thumb then. So bending it across and then extending it back.
Go back. Yeah.
Good. And that was the range of motion for the upper extremity. These videos were for demonstration purposes. If you need more instructions, please contact your healthcare provider.
Hi, I'm Susan Walsh from the ALS Association. To learn more and to get involved, visit alsphiladelphia.org.